Welcome back to another day off, everybody. It is a beautiful day, which means it is a perfect time for a compound slash garden tour update. I really love real estate, so I want to show you guys what's going on around the property. I've had this house for a little over a year now. I want to show you guys some of the projects I'm looking forward to and what I have in mind for this place. So let's go take a look. Might as well start with the front. So this is the main gate for the driveway, runs into the backyard where the shop is. I also have a nice little secondary gate here for this concrete parking pad I have in the front of the house. Now, it's a great gate. It's been working really well, but I would really like something electronic and automatic. So it's one of the investments I'd like to make in the future. Do a full length sliding electric gate. I have tons of real estate over here along the fence. Build a rail system and have the electric gate sort of nice and tuck in along the back fence there. Probably not going to come too soon, but it's definitely something I'd like to do. I've seen some DIY builds out there, so I think it's possible. Another thing here is the previous owner did have a generator hooked directly up to the switch. Now, I don't have any experience with generators or tapping into the grid, but it is something I'd really like to do. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, we do lose our power a lot. We got lots of big trees. I'm in the redwood forest, so when it comes time to fire season and windy weather, it's not uncommon for me to lose power. So I've been keeping an eye out on Craigslist. I'm looking for an older generator unit, hopefully something about 9,000 watts. I think I should be able to power the entire house and have no issues with something that size. So keeping my eye out. This is the front yard. I'm on a little under a quarter acre. I'm on 0.21 acres, and I really like this house because it had a nice, clean, blank template for me to put some garden beds in the ground, try my hand at growing some veggies. In my old apartment, I got some blueberry bushes, and I really enjoyed the process. So it's slowly coming together. Back there is my first garden bed that I built. I'll give you guys a little bit better look at that as we pick through. Now, the ground has been a little bit problematic. I went through and tilled all of it with my little 2-stroke hand tiller, tried to get it nice and flattened out. I have a huge issue here with gophers. Now, Sage loves digging them up. You can see all the little potholes that she's been digging through. I'm thinking about renting some heavy equipment, maybe a little skid steer, giving this thing a nice complete grade, trying to plant some nice grass. But we'll see. It's definitely coming soon, though. I am over just the lumpy, grassy, weedy mess that I have on the ground right now, but these gophers just drive me absolutely crazy. Every time I get it graded out nice and flat, there's just mounds popping up everywhere. And here's a quick look from the other corner of the garden. Definitely lots of real estate for maybe some fruit trees and some more garden beds. So this is the first garden bed that I built. I should have done a video on it, but I wasn't really filming too much around that time. As of right now, we got 2 zucchinis. I got some cucumbers going here. They really started to pop off as of recent, and we're getting lots of flowers. You can see I'm starting to get a couple cucumbers going. This one's a Space Master cucumber, and it is just absolutely popping off. These two aren't doing as well, but I am really happy with the garden bed. I probably should have stained it. It was a Doug fir construction with this corrugated roofing metal. Cost me a little over $100 to get it constructed, but it is size large, and so it'll always be repurposed for something. The second little cheaper modular garden beds I picked up at the garden store. They were like $40, which was really nice, really easy to put together. Tried to plant some onion from seed this garden season, but we didn't have any luck. Either I had them get too dry or I kept them too saturated, and they didn't really take. These recently just got put in. Got some strawberries here growing in the second bed, and they just got transplanted from another bed, but they are starting to pick back up again. We got some nice flowers, so we should have some nice strawberries coming in soon. Got a hosta berry that I picked up last year from the garden store. It doesn't fruit that well. It will once I put it into the ground. It's just been impacted since being in this pot for a while. I'm a little hesitant to put stuff in the ground because the gophers love to eat everything. I lost my dahlias, my broccoli, artichoke plants, all kinds of stuff to these gophers. They kind of just eat anything you put in the soil, so I'm trying to get more garden beds put in before I start sticking stuff in the ground, because this has gopher wire, this has gopher wire, and that has gopher wire. And if you don't put gopher wire in this area, they will just eat everything you try to plant. These are my very neglected grape plants, and like I said, I've been hesitant to put them in the ground, but they do need some extra love. I think they still got some life in them. I just need to give them some attention here this summer. Here we got a little bit of devil's lettuce, or some marijuana. I picked these up at the dispensary, and I think they're clones. They're probably indoor clones. I first started them in the greenhouse, and I thought they'd do well with the excess heat, but they just haven't taken off. So I brought them outside here recently. I'm trying to get them figured out. I really don't know much, if anything, about them or growing it, but I figured give it a shot. We're in a good climate here, so we'll see. This one's doing a little bit better. but I still haven't figured out the right recipe yet, so we'll see. We got some potatoes here growing in the potato bags. Now we're trying a new style this year. What you do is you roll down the bag and plant, about 6 to 8 inches of soil, and then as the potato plant grows up, you roll the bag up and then you add more soil, and you continue to do that over the growing cycle of the potatoes, and then you're able to really layer, and the potato plant will keep producing more potatoes, and you can have the bag filled up nice and thick and get a lot more crop. Thing over here, more potatoes, and the cool thing is I planted these with last year's potatoes. I had them in the cabinet in a Ziploc bag, and they were just sprouting up like crazy, so we just stuck them in the ground and they took off right away this summer. Here we have an artichoke. This was a gift because my 2 artichoke plants I had in the backyard got absolutely chewed up by gophers last year while I was out on fire. I came home and they were just gone. A gopher dug up from underneath and just sucked them right down into the ground like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It was crazy. Here we got 5 different blueberry plants growing, and it looks like we're just starting to get our first berry. Let's give it a shot here. Sage likes them too. A little tart, but we're getting closer. Should have a nice haul of blueberries soon. So yeah, more blueberries, and this was the very first blueberry plant I got at my apartment. Sage, get out of there. This one's producing really well. I've had it for about 3 years now, and this is my favorite blueberry, and it's kind of traveled all over the county with me. But I do really like having perennials, something that you can invest time, energy, and some love into, and they'll stay around year after year. I'm a much bigger fan of perennials than I am of annual crops that you lose after the growing season. Here's my little greenhouse. This was a Harbor Freight greenhouse kit. I think it was about $400, and I put this thing together last year. Here we got 5 different varieties of tomatoes growing. I already picked my first ripe tomato off of here last week, but we got some real healthy models coming in. Got some cherry tomatoes over there, pineapple tomato. I think one of these is a super sweet cherry. This one I think is a San Marzano, and they're doing really well here in this greenhouse. We should have lots of good tomatoes coming in soon. This is a little pepper box, got some mini bells that are starting to come in. And this one is a Mad Hatter pepper. It's supposed to be a little citrusy. And then this is our jalapeno, but it's been super stunted and just does not want to take off. Here we got some peppers from last year, and they are starting to take back off again. Had a rodent get into the greenhouse and started munching them up. This one looks like is a gypsy sweet pepper. Oh, these guys fell off. I'll probably have to bring them inside. And then this one is a serrano. But I think some critter was getting in here and just nibbling all the flowers and all the greenery off. So they haven't been a bother this year. I tried to reinforce the greenhouse a little bit, but it's just pressure treated that I screwed the frame down onto. And then this is my little succulent section, trying to rejuvenate some plants, keep them here in the hot environment. Dog party's all here. This front fence has been great. It uses these steel posts as opposed to the traditional pressure treated 4x4, and I kind of like this design. I might want to do this all over. I have a lot of fence line and a lot of fence posts to repair. So this is my front patio slash little mud room here I got off the front door, and it's pretty janky construction. Someone just threw up scrap wood, scrap plywood, old windows, and just did a poor job of casing them out, and so it's a little ghetto. I would really like to redo it. Then it's got some sort of plastic. Well, this is glass, but this is plexi. And I'd like to redo this whole thing. It has done great for the kiwis though. These were kind of stunted, but I brought them in here and they've really been popping off. So I'm happy about that. Josh gave me this little maple tree too, so thinking I need to get this thing in the ground sooner than later. This little fella here is a staghorn. It's a pretty rare, unique plant. My dad is an absolute whiz at growing them. Same with my grandpa and my grandma. I got this one from my mom. My grandma gave it to her. And it's just a little piece of family tradition I got to bring up here to the Pacific Northwest with me. Did burn it last season by putting some nutrients on it, so really they just need the occasional little bit of water and just let them be. What I'd really like to do though is tear this all down, and I'm trying to get my old man up here for a couple weeks of work. What I'd like to do is pour some concrete footings and then build a front porch that comes off the front of the house. Now it's a manufactured home, so it's got this ghetto looking vinyl skirting around the sides. But I'd like to put in some concrete footings and then build a deck out maybe 8-10 feet and run it the full length of the house, and then do an angled cut right over here so I have good access for the driveway. But I think that would just super improve the quality of the front of the house, make it look a lot better, and I really like usable outdoor space, so I think it would be a really fun project to do. Plus, I do live in the redwoods, and it would be really cool to build a full-length redwood deck. Coming down the driveway here, these are the 4 posts that I did in that fence post repair video, and there are so many more I need to do. It's such a laborious job, and it really is not fun, but these posts have a lot of movement, and it would be nice to get this thing straightened out a little bit because it is a very tight fit getting my truck and trailers down this driveway, so it would be a big improvement. And now we are into the backyard. Now, like I was telling you guys with that front porch, I really want to do the same design back here as well. This porch that was built back here is actually some old growth redwood. I'm pretty bummed that they painted it this red color because they covered up the natural beauty of the grain on this old growth, and I'll show you what I mean. If you take a look at this board here, you can see how tight that grain is down at the bottom, and it's just such a good quality wood. It would probably be more work than it is worth it to plane it all and get all the paint off, but it is a great little deck to have the hot tub. If you guys look back at some of my very first content, I did a repair and maintenance video on this hot tub. I replaced the control panel, drained it all the way down, scrubbed it, got it all cleaned back up, and got it fired back up. Absolutely love this thing. We use it pretty often, and it's been really nice to have. Put these little lights up too, but I think it would be really cool to blow this deck out and have it run the full length down there, and then another angled cut maybe, give myself a lot more outdoor usable space. Maybe an outdoor heater and stuff like that. So here is my little ghetto back patio. Kind of same thing. Someone did some pretty cheap construction, just found some old cracked windows, framed them out pretty poorly, but it gets the job done. It is something I'd really like to rebuild though. You know, I mean, it's just got these straps holding in the windows, and you know, nothing's to code, nothing's fancy, just some random glass bathroom window that they found and threw in here too. So I'd really like just to blow all this out and build it all out full length, just like I was talking about in the front. I would have to get rid of a little bit of garden space here, but these are just kind of ornamentals. I have a rosemary that I replanted and dyed out. This one's a lemon balm, and then a lavender and a chamomile. And then this one is an azalea. It does bloom in April with some beautiful yellow flowers. And then this one's a Japanese Andromeda that is getting ready to bloom, hopefully sometime soon this summer. Outdoor water heater cabinet too. I got an old 20-year-old on-demand Bosch water heater that I do need to replace in the future, so we'll be doing a on-demand hot water heater replacement, I think, sometime this year. Got a little ghetto center block planter out here too. It's got some raspberries in it. They kind of been struggling ever since I moved in, but that's because they're not able to tap into any soil. Someone just stacked up some center blocks and made a little makeshift planter out of it. They are doing really well, but I do want to get a garden bed built for them so I can transfer them up into the front yard, because they are pretty mature. I do think they have a good chance of popping back off again, but just another one of the future projects. Here's a perfect example of these gopher holes around here. Now this is like through the rock that they poured for the driveway, and these are strong, rigid gopher holes, but they're just kind of all over the place. Every now and then I just see new gopher holes popping up all over, so I really don't know what to do about them. I need to get a BB gun and just start looking for them. But I think maybe just getting it graded out and putting down some weed mat, or I don't really know. If you guys have any experience with gophers, please feel free to drop some wisdom in the comments. Boat's been doing great. I lubricated the steering, but last time I took it out, I had a water leak that was spraying up into the front of the boat while I was under speed. And I'll see if I can find that clip and throw it in there for you guys. It was pretty hilarious. I'm thinking I'm gonna take it off the trailer and flex seal the entire boat. I think that would make a pretty epic video. This is my little garden shed. I got a beehive that I did with my girlfriend. We're trying to catch some bees and see if we can get a hive started. But I'll give you guys a little bit of look at this. I think the previous owners had it as a chicken coop. And I just noticed this recently because there is a bunch of bird shit up on the wall. But I just use it for storage. I got some old hand tools that I got from the fire department, some grass. I got my little tiller. I used that thing to till out and grade the entire front yard, but then I got terribly sick last year. It got all overgrown and it just ruined all of my hard work. But great excuse to rent some heavy equipment, get in here and do some proper work. But you know, just a little push mower, leaf blower, electric chainsaw, chicken wire, all that good stuff. Just storage. It does have a really nice concrete slab though, so I am pumped on that. It's decent construction too. It's all pretty solid. It was done well. Yeah, I got lots and lots of fence repair to do. All these posts need to come out and get new posts, new concrete. So many fence posts, guys. So many fence posts. A little look behind the backyard. Cruising over. Truck is parked still. I'm waiting for the new center link to come in from CST Suspension, but don't worry, that is coming in this week. Some nice leaning fence here for you. This is the side of the garage, my little RV parking spot, which is nice. I do have water and I do have power, which is sweet. This is what I'm really excited to show you guys. I gave you guys a little bit of a teaser during the shop and garage update tour. Let me show you what we got going on inside. I got chickens, guys. I got 7 chickens. We got 4 black stars and 3 Easter eggers. And this is my chicken coop build that I'll be unveiling with the proper video coming soon. I'm gonna get this shut so they don't escape, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. I picked this garden shed up for 250 bucks off Craigslist. It is a lifetime resin mold garden shed kit, and these sell for like over $1,000 brand new. So I did get a pretty smoking deal on it. What my game plan is I started the chickens out in a kiddie pool in there with some chicken wire around it. I just graduated them up to the entire coop, so they're super pumped right now. What I'm gonna do though is I have an electronic chicken door I got from my girlfriend. She used to raise ducks, and I'm gonna punch a hole here in the side of the shed, and then I'm gonna build a chicken run out here in the back, frame it out with 2x4s and with hardware cloth or with chicken wire, and then they'll have a nice run. Maybe do it 10 feet deep or something like that. That way they have a lot of room to come outside, stretch their wings, do some scratching on the ground, because this right now is just kind of ladder and car ramp storage. I'm not really doing much with it, so it would be really nice to repurpose it. And then going back here, I have a full nice run all the way to the front yard and the greenhouse and the hot tub. So this space will be really well used for a chicken run. So this will be their full-time home. And then over here on this side, you can see the swimming pool, the little kiddie pool that I used for their last size. And I'm gonna build some nesting boxes here off on the side so I can just come out in the morning, lift the lid up, grab my eggs, pop back inside, and make some breakfast. Yeah, these chickens have been a really fun project. They still got their heat lamp just in case they do get cold. I got their water set up there. I got their food. This usually lasts them about 4, 5, 6 days. I'm also gonna build some roosts, and just gonna use some 2x4 construction from the floor, mount it up to the back walls with a couple horizontal bars. Chickens like to hop up there and roost up in the air at nighttime, and so that'll be coming soon. But they don't need it yet. They're still plenty small, and they just graduated up to this area. But it's an 8x6, so they have lots of room to spread out, and these chickens are super spoiled in comparison to a lot of other chickens. They have tons of room to stretch out, but they're getting really pretty. They're starting to show their colors, and they're really starting to come into their own. So I'm super pumped. I love having chickens around. They're super fun. I like feeding them out of my hand, and they've just been a great time. Starting to turn a little more homesteady. Guys, I'll see you later. What else? I'm still waiting to hear back from BenPack. Maybe I can get an army of you guys and we can all email BenPack and tell them to set me up with a lift and do a collaboration. No, I'm just kidding. I would never ask you guys to do that, but it would be really nice to get a 2-post in here. We would be able to increase our volume of jobs and our complexity and our speed so damn much. Got a video for the E46 flip car coming soon too. Like I said, that thing is sold and we should be shipping it out on Tuesday. So keep an eye on the channel. We will have more content coming for that. And I wanted to show you guys this thing. I just got it the other day. My buddy John gave it to me. It's a Williams propane heater, and just runs off a standard propane can. I'm going to be doing some work on this, going through it a little bit, and then building some ducting and putting it in the shop somewhere on the back wall. That way we have a nice heated environment while we are working through the winter time. So super looking forward to that, but it's not a major priority right now. And my gal already added the soil, just like I was telling you guys about. Add a couple inches, roll the bag up, and let the potato plants keep producing potatoes. All right, let me show you guys the inside. What's up, Bronx? This guy's a guest today. He's chilling. This is Bronxy boy. Let us go inside. So this is the interior, folks. Like I said, it is a early to mid 80s Skyline manufactured home. It's really nice though, because I got these vaulted ceilings. It doesn't have any attic crawl space. They do that manufactured home spray insulation from the top, I think, after they have the ceiling put on. So no overhead lights or anything like that, but it does make the house feel a lot bigger than it is with those vaulted ceilings, which I really like. Got the big fat TV. Got my little fish tank over here. I'll show you guys some more. Great view out the front into the little garden plot. Got this great $80 couch that I scored in SoCal. My favorite piece of furniture. 80 bucks for this leather couch. I love it. Anyways, little workstation, little electric fireplace, kennel for Sage while she's still getting trained up. Couple plants, but really not too much. As far as what I've done in here so far, I did paint the kitchen. It was this terrible, ugly salmon pink. Might be some old pieces in here that I can show you guys the color of, but really nice update on that. I'd like to do a new kitchen counter, or maybe eventually blow this entire wall out, because there is a void up top, and so this isn't load bearing, and so I'd like to blow this all out and maybe just do an island in the center. But I'm probably going to do that at the same time that I ditch the carpet. Luckily this carpet was replaced right before I moved in, so it still is really fresh, but I really want to do some luxury vinyl plank. It's just a lot of money. It's like $3 to $4 per square foot, and it's going to cost me about $4,000 to $5,000 to do it. Maybe as the channel grows, we can get hooked up with a vinyl flooring company, and they can help me out do this. They can help me do this whole place with a good cost on material, but we'll see. This is my little frog tank. Now it's a frog tank, not a fish tank, because I got more frogs than I do fish. But you can see here, I got some little African dwarf frogs. I got 5 of them in there, and 2 glowfish. These were the first little pets I had when I moved up here to the Pacific Northwest. Got this funky but kind of cool built-in china cabinet too. Show you guys a cool little picture I have in here. That's a little baby Alec, and this is me laying down some fire on the August complex, dropping some heat. Long nights and tough working conditions. So there's front door, and then here I have a second bedroom. I was renting this one out last year to firefighters, but you know, I ain't meant to have roommates, so right now it's just a bit of a guest room. But with the vaulted ceilings, it is really nice, so it's great having family or friends come visit. A sweet little closet space in it too, so unused right now, but it is really nice to have. Over here, got the guest bathroom, second bathroom. It's outdated, linoleum floor, but it will be really fun to remodel this place, make it a lot nicer. It is a really clean bathroom though, and this house was the cleanest house that I looked at during my real estate hunt, so it's definitely a really nice selling point. This one is my little office space, just a cool little gaming desk setup. This is where I do a lot of my editing, where I jump on Discord with my brothers, play some video games, and just chill out. I got these really cool signs from the fire department. I worked on a hand crew, and the hand crew camp actually used to be a prison camp. It was California Department of Corrections, the CDC, and they had inmate camps running fire hand crews all throughout the state for the longest time. And they recently got rid of that program, switched it over to firefighters. And there's a bunch of these cool old growth redwood signs that were hand routed out by a bunch of prison inmates. So it's just a really cool piece of history that I was able to bring home. I have quite a few of these signs, not this exact one, but I just thought it was really neat. Now this manufactured wall stuff is something I'd really like to address too. It's pretty thin weight, and it actually looks pretty decent painted over, and I'll show you guys over here in the master. All this white is just that same exact paneling, but it was just painted over pretty nicely, and it does look really good. So I'm excited to paint the whole house and do LVP, but you know, just all comes down to money and priorities. So I just need to stack up some more cash. But nice open closet space, little TV setup, and then this is the master bath. Lots of room, good counter space, just needs some updating, maybe do an LVP on the floors and stuff. And then that leads directly out to the hot tub. So I want to blow this window out and put a door in there and really make that accessible, and just walk right in from the hot tub, take a shower, rinse off, hit the hay. That'd be the life. Anyways guys, that's about it. I'm in a little bit of a lull right now. Since my center link broke on my truck, it just really screwed me up. I was all geared up to jam up to Oregon and buy that car, start cranking out some more BMW content for you guys, but just waiting for parts to come in, and have to get my truck rebuilt, and then we got to get a trailer rental and lock down another car. Luckily, my seller up in Oregon still has the car and he wants to sell it to me, so maybe we'll be able to make that happen in the next week or two. But anyways, one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this is just another opportunity to connect with you guys. My channel isn't just going to be BMW content, and I know a lot of you guys really enjoy it for the E46 content, all the other BMW stuff, but it's Day Off DIY. It's going to be all kinds of DIY stuff that I get into. We're going to be doing a garbage disposal install. My grandma came up and visited me, bought me a garbage disposal at Costco, and I really need one. So we're going to be doing a little bit of plumbing. We're going to be doing a little bit of paint work, some grading out in the front yard, some landscape work, and it might always be BMWs. It might be trucks or Jeeps in the future. So I just wanted to jump on here and show a little bit of what's going on in my life in hopes that we can connect a little bit more, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So just kind of wanted to show you what's going on and give you guys a little bit of an update. Now, we will have plenty more BMW content coming in the future, so don't worry guys. I got a BMW skill set that I built over the years at the shop, and there's a lot more knowledge that I want to be able to pass off, and there's a lot more cars that I want to work on and be able to rebuild in the future. I do love them. You know, it's pretty hard to find a car that will drive as good as a BMW when you're doing 80, 85 miles an hour on the highway, you know. They're just absolutely fantastic cars, and I wasn't a fan until I started working on them, and then I realized how nice of machines they really truly are. So don't worry guys, there'll be lots more BMWs. Anyways guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed. It's probably not anything to learn new, maybe just a little bit more stuff about me, but I just wanted to give you guys a kind of general overview of the property. I really do love real estate. I love real estate development, and I love really anything that has to do with having your own piece of dirt. It's been one of my big dreams ever since I was young, was wanting to own a piece of property and all the stuff that comes along with it, all the skills that need to be built, and really I'm not really well versed in any of them. But it's a great learning experience, and maybe there can be something that you guys can learn from it too, whether it's raising chickens, replacing fence posts, building garden beds, plumbing, electrical, carpentry or construction. So we're just going to keep this thing rolling. Whatever I get into on my days is what I'm going to show you guys. One last thing before we go. I'm looking for a graphic designer, graphic illustrator, someone that can help me make a logo or a design for merch. I'd love to make some hats or some t-shirts, something that I can put on the market for you guys. I love American traditional, as you can see by my tattoos, so ideally someone that can make something up American traditional style, Sailor Jerry style kind of stuff, make some really cool shirts, but make them different and unique, you know. If you guys have any experience or know anybody, please feel free to send them my way or shoot me an email at dayoffdiy@gmail.com. I think it's time for us to start getting some merch fired up, and I'm really excited about it. So let me know if you guys can help. All right guys, well, I hope you enjoyed it, or I hope you learned something new. We got more automotive content coming soon. Just got to wait for some parts, and we'll have a new project car soon in the future too. So hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you on my next day off. Cheers everybody.